Most Australians think ETF tax is simple. You buy an ETF, you get some distributions, the numbers pre-fill in MyTax, and you're done. But here's the problem. A lot of ETF tax mistakes don't hurt you today. They hurt you years later when you sell and suddenly realize you've overpaid thousands in tax without even knowing it. In this video, I'm going to walk you through the ETF tax mistakes most Australian investors don't realize they're making. We're going to look at why they happen and how to avoid them. By the end of the video, you'll understand how ETF tax actually works in Australia, what the ATO cares about, and how smarter investors stay on top of it without losing their sanity. Let's get into it. Today, ETFs are incredibly popular in Australia as they are sold as a simple option for investing. And to be fair, they're pretty simple to buy. But the tax side of things works very differently to normal shares, and that's where people get caught out. The issue isn't that investors are careless with their tax obligations, it's that the ETF taxes are built on a structure most people don't understand. There are three things that create almost all ETF tax confusion in Australia. First, ETFs are often structured as unit trusts. Second, the income you're taxed on is not always the cash you receive. And third, capital gains can happen inside the ETF even if you never sell anything. These three things are responsible for nearly every ETF tax mistake. So let's start with the first issue and discuss the unit trust structure. In Australia, most mainstream ETFs are structured as unit trusts. That means when you buy an ETF, you are not buying shares in a company. You are buying units in a trust. This trust holds, purchases, and sells the underlying investment assets, which could include shares in a company. So when you buy units in the trust, you're buying a slice of the holding trust. The key point to understand here is that the ETF itself doesn't pay tax. Any income that the fund earns flows straight through to you as a unit holder. You are then responsible for declaring it in your tax return every year. A simple way to think about it is this. An ETF is a pipe, not a bucket. Money flows through it, and then whatever flows through ends up on your tax return. ETFs can be incredibly diverse. Primarily, they're used to hold hundreds or even thousands of different company shares, but today they've branched out into crypto, metals like gold and silver, and in New Zealand, they even have carbon credits. All these assets generate different types of income. This could include Australian dividends, interest income, foreign income, or capital gains from selling assets inside the fund. All of that income gets bundled together and passed straight through to investors. And this is where things start to get tricky. Most Australian ETFs now operate under something called the AMIT regime. This stands for Attribution Managed Investment Trust. Many of you will be familiar with the AMMA tax statement that you get at the end of every financial year. This is the single most important concept in ETF tax. It's important to know that under AMIT, the income that is attributed to you for tax purposes can be different to the cash distribution you actually receive. Let me show you why this matters. Imagine your ETF earns $1,000 during the year. Instead of paying you the full $1,000 in cash, it only pays you $900. The remaining $100 might be held back for fees, reserves, or reinvestment. Here's the catch. For tax purposes, the ETF still attributes the full $1,000 to you. So even though you only saw $900 hit your bank account, you were taxed on the full $1,000. And this is the moment most investors panic and think, hang on, am I paying tax on money I didn't receive? And technically, yes, but you're not being double taxed. And this is where our first mistake comes in, trusting the pre-fill without checking. Every year, usually around July or August, you'll receive an AMMA statement from every ETF that you own. This is your cheat sheet for ETF tax. It breaks down exactly what income was attributed to you and which tax labels it belongs in. The good news is that most ETF providers send this data directly to the ATO, so your tax return often pre-fills automatically. The bad news is that the pre-fill data is not always complete or final when you first see it. Pre-fill can be delayed or it can be incomplete. So the right approach is simple. Always cross-check your pre-fill against your AMMA tax statement. This one habit alone avoids a huge number of underreporting and overreporting mistakes. For Australian share ETFs, you might also see franking credits on the AMMA statement. Those credits matter because they can reduce your final tax bill or boost your refund. So make sure you pay attention to your franking credits. The second mistake is ignoring foreign tax offsets. This mistake mainly affects investors who hold global ETFs like VGS or IVV. When an ETF earns foreign income, tax is often withheld before the money reaches Australia. That means the cash distribution you receive has already had foreign tax taken out. But for Australian tax purposes, you must still declare the gross foreign income, not the net amount you received. Then separately, you can claim a foreign income tax offset. If you skip this step, you can end up paying tax twice on the same income. The AMMA statement makes this clear. You just need to follow it properly. And the third mistake is ignoring the AMIT cost-based adjustments. This is the mistake that costs investors the most money, and they often don't realize it until years later. Remember earlier when I said you might be taxed on more income than the cash you receive? That difference is fixed through cost-based adjustments. Just to be clear here, cost-based adjustments don't change what you're taxed on this year, they change your capital gain when you eventually sell. At the bottom of your AMMA statement, you'll see lines showing a cost-based increase or decrease. These adjustments are not reported to the ATO, and they are your responsibility to track. Here is a simple example. You buy an ETF for $1,000. At the end of the year, your AMMA statement shows a $100 cost-based increase. That means your true cost base is now $1,100, not $1,000. If we fast forward a few years, you sell the ETF for $2,000. If you never updated your cost base, you'd think your capital gain was $1,000. But if you track the adjustment properly, your gain is actually $900. After the 50% CGT discount, that difference matters. Now imagine you've been dollar cost averaging for years, or reinvesting distributions, or holding multiple ETFs. Those adjustments compound, and trying to fix them later becomes a nightmare. This is why smart investors update their cost base every single year, not just when they sell. The fourth mistake is thinking capital gains tax only happens when you sell. ETFs are buying and selling assets all of the time within the fund. When they do, any capital gains are passed through to investors. These show up on your AMMA statement and must be declared. Now these are easy to miss, and they are often not pre-filled. Ignoring them can throw off your entire tax position. And our fifth and final mistake is defaulting to FIFO without thinking. When you sell ETFs, the ATO allows flexibility in how you calculate your capital gains. Most people default to FIFO, first in, first out. But FIFO is not always the most tax-efficient option. You are allowed to choose which parcels you sell. That means that you can choose higher cost parcels in high income years to reduce tax, or defer gains to lower income years. This is not about avoiding tax, it's simply about timing. Smart investors plan their capital gains instead of blindly accepting the default. These 5 mistakes are common ways Aussie investors lose out every single year. Smart ETF investors don't stress about tax because they do a few things well every year. They keep their AMMA statements, they adjust their cost base annually, and they track parcels instead of guessing later. Some investors use spreadsheets while others use portfolio tracking tools. One of my favorite tools for tracking Australian tax obligations is by using Navexa. They're an Australian company that helps track your portfolio and create powerful investment portfolio reports. One of their most commonly used reports is the one for capital gains, which helps track all of your stock parcels with the ability to load trades straight from your brokers so nothing gets lost at tax time. Subscribers to my channel get 20% off their annual plans using my code down below. Over 50 of my subscribers have already signed up, and I've been getting some great feedback from them. So make sure to check out my link down below and in the video description. And as always with these videos, please note this video is general in nature, not personal tax advice. If your situation is complex, please make sure to speak with a professional financial advisor who can speak to your personal situation. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. I've posted over 250 videos showing Australian and Kiwi investors how to grow their wealth through stocks, dividends, home ownership, and many others. Over here are 2 other videos that dive into the Vanguard and BetaShares ETF options here in Australia that you might want to check out. Thanks for watching, and I look forward to catching you in the next one. Cheers.